Today I thought I'd go back and play some Bloodstrike once more, checking out if it's still worth it now when the game has been out since 2023-ish, so 2 years, initially been made for mobile devices. Now Bloodstrike is a free-to-play shooter with abilities. It was developed by NetEase Games and published by the same. It's available on PC as I'm playing here, but also Android and iOS. Bloodstrike has a mix of game modes and content, although their Battle Royale game mode must be considered to be the most popular one. And before you ditch this game thinking that it's not for me, being initially a mobile device game, well, let me tell you that Bloodstrike plays pretty well, or surprisingly well, since it's well optimized and it has responsive controls and plays also well on low-end PCs. I also must say that the gunplay feels pretty good and satisfying, which is at least important for me when playing a game like this. And even though I'm not a Battle Royale gamer per se, I've had some really fun moments when solo queuing and getting matched with random people here in Bloodstrike, although you can play solo if you choose to, but also duo and squads in Bloodstrike. Now the characters in the game are called strikers, and they all have both some active and passive abilities. Some active abilities can, for example, be the possibility to deploy a barrier or a scanning device that reveals enemies within a certain radius on the map, or deploying a healing beacon, or maybe an ice barrier that blocks enemy fire and protects teammates. Even though it's been quite a lot of this hero shooter or abilities things in various games I've played at least the last couple of years, these abilities feels okay for me since gunplay is still very much the focus in Bloodstrike over anything else. If you played other similar games, for example COD Mobile, you're mostly used to a pretty messy or at least plot-filled UI or a menu. Now Bloodstrike is no exception since it's that style of a game, where also offers regarding skins and other stuff when it comes to battle passes and whatnot will pop up whenever you log in order to play. But if you're fine with that, or at least can look beyond that, Bloodstrike can be a fun experience and also a competitor for sure in its genre. Thinking again about Call of Duty Mobile, although Bloodstrike differs due to the strikers having their abilities and its own kind of style. But in order to be able to play and not having to wait a long time when searching for a game, you need a somewhat active player base and numbers. So I therefore tried to nerd in a bit in order to see how Bloodstrike is doing in that regard. If we look into Steam charts, although that's only a part of the player base that are also playing Bloodstrike on PC, we can see that there seems to be an increase of players since it was released on Steam. The last 30 days, there's been close to 4K players average a day and a peak of 6K players. But again, this is only on Steam, because Bloodstrike had a soft launch in Southeast Asia in October 2023 and the global launch followed on March 21st, 2024 and topped download charts in 15 countries at the time. Now across mobile and PC, Bloodstrike had officially recorded 50 million downloads by August 2024. So it's hard to tell any more like exact or accurate numbers, but it seems as if you, as a player, especially if you're one of those guys that don't want to invest time in a game that isn't doing that well or simply will disappear in a year or two, at least according to stats and downloads here, there seems to be a lot of gamers still logging into Bloodstrike in 2025. So feel free to leave your experiences and feedback here as well. I didn't personally have to wait a long time to get into matches when playing and making this video, living in the EU. But even so, be aware that there's also bots or AI in the game, especially when you're just starting out to play Bloodstrike for the first time. When making this video, I played some regular game modes, but also Battle Royale when it comes to both casual and ranked. There seemed to be more real players overall in ranked, but maybe that was just these matches that I played and a coincidence more than anything else. Not really sure. Next up, are there cheaters in Bloodstrike? As with many online shooters, there are also cheaters in Bloodstrike, although I haven't personally experienced any cheater, at least not yet. Again, I've just played this game back and forth through the years, still find it a bit interesting. Cheats that are mentioned are increased hitbox, aimbot and wall hack. Remember also that sometimes, I just say sometimes, less skilled players have a tendency or even a hard time to determine whether a player is cheating or not if he's simply better when it comes to aim and also positioning and overall map knowledge. At least the developers though, according to their posts, seem to have taken the problem seriously, since they've stated that once cheating behavior is identified, offenders will receive a 10-year ban on their account across all platforms, including Android, iOS, PC. They will lose access to the game completely. For repeat offenders, they reserve the right to blacklist their devices permanently. Although Bloodstrike hasn't been out that long on Steam, it has mostly positive or very positive reviews on the actual platform. Here's an example of what one guy at least have said when leaving a review about Bloodstrike, a kind of mix of good and bad. 1. The game at the beginning is littered with bots, which is fine for a new player learning the game. 2. The higher rank you get, the more actual players you run into. 3. With the previous statement, once you start to run into more players, you find less bots in the map or on the map, but you'll find more cheaters. This isn't saying that cheaters are prominent, but they do exist, as does all games, as you'll find out really fast that they actually suck at the game. But it is hard to beat wall hacks and auto-targeting to your head. 4. The main menu is too cluttered and needs to be cleaned up. 5. I would like to see some kind of anti-cheat system put into place. With all of this said, it's a great game and I will attempt to keep playing it, but I will uninstall if cheaters become too much. The kill cam after dying is a good thing for determining if they are cheating, especially if you know the gun they are using, if it doesn't kill that fast. Also, you'll notice that they seem to know where you're at all times, but don't take your bad playstyle as someone is cheating. Investigate first before making an assumption. If they are cheating, report them. Hopefully it will help fix the game in the long run. I played many matches and thought they were cheating, but after watching them, I just realized I made a bad play, and some I found out that they are tracking me through walls, or they just instantly snap to my body with any gun. Overall, a great game, just needs to have an anti-cheat and players that are willing to support the game. So that was quite a long saying, but I thought I would put it in there because, I mean, I agree with some of these things, even though I haven't played the game as much, most likely as much as this guy has been playing Bloodstrike. But even so, I think I'm quite confident saying that I do like this game for what it is. I go in and out of this game once in a while, come back after a few months, play a bit. I've also been streaming it together with a friend. That was some time ago, but I can definitely think about doing that again. So, what do you think? Let me know in the comments. And of course, I also gotta say that I do think it's worth to check out this game also in 2025. It has something that at least I like, and I've talked about the gunplay, which is definitely one of those things. And it feels kind of interesting also with these characters and everything, their small abilities, if you will. I don't mind that. It kind of works well, at least the games I've been playing and the experiences I have overall after, you know, putting down, not my controller, but leaving my keyboard and mouse on the table, so to say. So with that said, if you want to check out Bloodstrike, you can do that nowadays. Also, it's easier since you just go onto Steam if you're playing on PC. And as said earlier, the game also plays well on those spec PCs, which is good. It's the positive side of things for sure, since it makes the game more available to more people, which is always a good thing. And it's free, so why not check out Bloodstrike if you're looking for something new to play and you are into these kind of games, if you will. Take care now, have a beautiful day, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon in another video here on my channel. Later.